How is it that Breath of the Wild and Elden Ring both won Game of the Year and got multiple 10 out of 10 scores from people that review games? There seems to be a general consensus that Tears of the Kingdom missed the mark. Many people claim that it is a great game, and it is. However, there was just something off about the game, something missing from it that people couldn't hail it as the greatest game of all time like its predecessor, Breath of the Wild. I mean, on paper, what is there not to like about the game? It's Breath of the Wild, but better in every way. The combat system is the same, but has a bit more depth. The map is the same, but now there is an underground area and a sky area. So what was wrong? What did Breath of the Wild do that Tears of the Kingdom didn't, and how does this pertain to Elden Ring? Well, Breath of the Wild innovated. A massive open world Zelda game. I mean, Pokemon fans were raving at the mouths for an open world Pokemon game years after Breath of the Wild launched. Tears of the Kingdom gave us the same thing that Breath of the Wild did. It wouldn't be a reach to say that Tears of the Kingdom is Breath of the Wild 1.5, or could have been a Breath of the Wild DLC. But what made Breath of the Wild so strong that people hailed it as the greatest game of all time, that Elden Ring also does? That would be exploration. Breath of the Wild was all about exploration, and it felt to me that the developers of Tears of the Kingdom didn't realize this when they made the game. When I play Elden Ring, the peak of the game is always the world and the exploration. I get the same vibes playing Elden Ring as I did with Breath of the Wild, a feeling of calm and contentedness despite the world being so harsh. Everything in Elden Ring is so wondrous and breathtaking, and I feel at ease when I am exploring the world. The world is so massive, and there are things to amaze you in every nook and cranny. Now, I won't go too deep into comparisons with Breath of the Wild, specifically because there is a huge age gap between when the two games launched, with Breath of the Wild being released in 2017 and Elden Ring in 2022. With Breath of the Wild, you were constantly in awe with the Switch release that they could make such a huge game run on such a small console, and with Elden Ring, I'm similarly in awe at the level of detail and creativity in the world. But Tears of the Kingdom is just the same as Breath of the Wild, with an added sky area that is devoid of any creativity, and an underground area that is just fairly empty. So, I will just suffice to say that Elden Ring is a masterpiece in world building and exploration, and Tears of the Kingdom missed what made Breath of the Wild a 10 out of 10 game, which is the exploration. When you do your playthrough of Elden Ring, it genuinely feels like a grand journey, despite there not being a ton of story cutscenes with a lot of dialogue. Just running around the game, exploring the world, makes you feel as if you are on a grand adventure, whereas Tears of the Kingdom is like visiting an old friend. I think perhaps this could have been the angle that Nintendo was going for, but it wasn't the reason that Breath of the Wild was wildly successful. So, what do you guys think? Do you think that Elden Ring has the greatest exploration in any video game ever? Perhaps that gamers are drawn toward exploration, and that's why both Breath of the Wild and Elden Ring won Game of the Year. Feel free to leave a comment down below. Thank you for watching the video, and have a good day.